Good morning. This is BeamtUp Tech. Typically, I'm not one for leaks. There's a lot about the S20, S11, whichever. That in itself is a leak. An article on Forbes sums up the little snippets of... Is that a rumor? It's pretty well established that each year Samsung comes out with a new phone, they go up in one number, besides the Note 7. Or the Note 6, really, that never existed. This year, with the turning of a decade, however, there have been leaks from sources with very good track records that say that it is not going to be called the S11. Instead, it's going to be called the Galaxy S20. New decade, new beginning, yada-da-da. That would definitely put it pretty far ahead of Apple's naming scheme, because for a while they had been either on the same page or one ahead of or behind each other, depending on what time of year you looked at it. Ice Universe most recently tweeted that the S11e is going to be called the S20, the S11 is going to be called the S20 Plus, and then the S11 Plus is going to be called the S20 Ultra. Did I get all that right? I like that they're using the word Ultra instead of Plus or Max or, God forbid, Pro.
Pro. Even if we're not a pro. Pro design. Pro display. For the Mac Pro, we call that the Pro Display XDR, a pro level performance.
Ugh. Ultra is a name that I don't remember Samsung or Apple really using anytime in the recent past, or at all even. I'd have to look at that one to verify, but yeah. I do kind of wish they would get rid of the Plus though, because Plus, nah, just like S20e, S20, and S20 Ultra. That's how I think they should do it. It seems like most of these leaks or information has in fact, what is this keyboard? Oh, sorry, whoops, has come from Ice Universe. But it goes on to say that the cameras, one of them is going to be a 48 megapixel, excuse me, I didn't enunciate the 8 very well, a 48 megapixel telephoto lens capable of 5x zoom, which would be awesome, suitably named, or codenamed, Hubble. Cool. That's a new one on me. It'll sit alongside, supposedly, a 48 megapixel wide angle lens. That's a huge megapixel jump from the S10s to the S20/S11s or whichever it's going to be. One of the things that I'm most excited about is the time of flight sensor that they put into the Note 10 Plus, because that will make live focus video recording, one of my favorite things about anything, even better. Ooh, and portrait mode, of course, will also be noticeably better. Instead of just using software to detect the edges of a subject, you can actually find where it ends and where everything else begins. It's just gonna be pimpin'. And to top all of that off, they're going to step a 108 megapixel camera in as the primary that uses what's called pixel binning, and that basically bins 9 pixels together to create one large 2.4 ohm pixel. No, I don't know what that symbol means. Somebody probably will be able to tell me down there. With a 12 megapixel final image, and that's going to greatly improve nighttime shots, and it's codenamed ISOCELL Bright HM1. Also, I know we haven't seen her for a while, but Phoebe is still here. She's still alive and still ornery. Aren't you? Happy New Year, Phoebes. Hey, don't mess with those. Early prototype pictures of the back camera array made it look super messy. But thankfully, new leaks have confirmed that it's actually not going to be that way. It's going to be much more uniform looking. Thank goodness. Really, it wouldn't have mattered that much because it's all blacked out anyway. But, and in my opinion, it's like if you have to discombobulate the arrangement of your cameras and the image looks baller, discombobulate your cameras, make them messy as f***. Yeah. OnLeaks provided this picture, and the lens down there at the bottom left appears to be the telephoto. I don't know, I'm stoked. It's gonna be huge, a huge camera bump, but also a huge camera bump in quality, perhaps. Another stokingly awesome thing that I'm really looking forward to is the 120 hertz display that they're going to be supposedly putting into the S20. This is going to be a humongous boost because of 2 reasons. Number one, it's the feature that no matter how you use your phone, even if you're the most basic of basic users that just calls people and texts people and browses Facebook or whatever, then you'll be able to appreciate this. And it won't just be like you'll be able to appreciate it after you get told about it. You start using it and you will immediately notice a difference, regardless of what you're doing. Like I always used to say, what's the one part of a smartphone you cannot help but use if you are to use it at all? And that's the display. So, the second reason, everybody's like, oh, Android's so it's not smooth and blah, 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 fucking blah. iOS is smoother, that's the user experience, yada. But when every bit of motion on the display, whether it be scrolling or animations, which have been really beefed up with One UI 2.0, that's a different video though. When every single bit of that appears to just be so, like, noticeably buttery smoother, you can take someone who's saying that Android's glitchy or that it's not as smooth as iOS, show them that, and they'll be like, oh. Or more likely, they'll just get mad because you proved them wrong. But yes, it's going to just really, really be a shot in the arm for overall public opinion about how fast Samsung phones are, at least. Yes, any other phone that has 120 Hz display. I know about the Razr phone, the ROG phone, they're great. But now Samsung's getting it. Also, they're moving the front-facing camera into the middle of the front part of the screen, and that's, yes, cool, thank you. That'd be great. And also making the cutout smaller like they did with the Note 10. And those are two welcome changes, like, sure, awesome. And that's not sarcasm either. That's, yes, why thank you. I appreciate that. Symmetry. At least on the front. The back is not so symmetrical anymore, not like this. Ice Universe, again, has also obtained a few screen protectors that were made for the front of these phones, and it kind of confirms that the top and bottom bezels are going to be shrunk even further, to everyone's delight, I'm sure. On the performance front, the Snapdragon 865 will be inside the non-Exynos versions of these, I'll say it like that. 20% faster graphics rendering, which is pretty expected, and also 35% more power efficiency. And when you couple that with the LPDDR5, I think that's what, smartphone memory, which is also 30% faster, and let's see, and 30% more power efficient with the increased battery. What is it, like 4,300 milliamp hours for the regular sized one? I think that's what the rumors are saying about the S20, the middle one. I'm guessing battery life is, and like top all that off with the whipped cream that is Android 10 and One UI 2.0. Based on my own experience with Android 10 and One UI 2.0, not the beta version, my battery life is noticeably improved, and when you put all the other stuff with it too, dude, this phone's gonna, it's gonna spink. It's gonna spink. Since the Snapdragon 865 has 5G baked into it, then it will make every new Samsung phone, regardless of what name it's going to be, 5G capable. And for those who are chomping at the bit to get into 5G network connectivity, or can access it, I'm sure that will be delightful news for you. Wi-Fi 6 will also come standard, and thankfully they're keeping the microSD card slot, even though it's probably going to be either 128 or 256 gigs of internal storage, which is plenty for me. I don't know, I say that, but I also have filled up like half of my 64 gigabyte card. Either way, you still have expandable storage, but I don't believe we will have a headphone jack anymore. Biometrics. iOS is all like, Face ID, but, excuse me. With the in-display fingerprint scanner on last year's versions of phones, it was like this big. Very small area for you to put your finger on and be able to scan, but the scanner underneath the screen of the newer phones that are coming is going to be 17 times larger. Basically the entire bottom half of the phone, which will make, oh my god! Yes! Thank you, because it's going to make unlocking it feel way faster, and it's also going to allow you to scan two fingerprints at once. So for like really important logins, like banking stuff, or telling Samsung Pay to turn on to activate the payment method, that's going to be oh, excuse me, I said 4,300. It's actually rumored to be 4,500 milliamp hours on the middle model, and 5,000 milliamp hours on the big model. Holy crap, dude. Oh my goodness. That's gonna be 45 watt super fast charging is also expected to come standard, and that's also something that's super exciting, although a lot of people make I think, in my opinion, a way bigger deal out of it than needs to be. Like, it already, with 25 watt standard, it already charges super fast. Why do you want to, there's like a higher one, I don't even remember what, it's a 50, 65 watt or whatever. With all the battery life improvements that are going to happen, I think 45 watt fast charging is enough, especially when it comes standard and doesn't make you buy a secondary charging plug like some other companies do. It says Samsung is tipped to announce the Galaxy S11 series on February 18th. Usually, it's, what is it, February 20 to 22nd, that's when the Mobile World Congress happens, and that's usually when they have their event. But if they decide to have it early, I'm not gonna complain at all. If you're still here, then number one, I appreciate it, and number two, I am on lots of different social media platforms, and other little things that you don't see here will be sprinkled across those. Also, there's always these ways right here to show some free love if you so desire. The holiday break that I took for like the last like couple months of 2019 really did exactly what it needed to do, because now I feel like totally ready to like jump into 2020 on a regular upload schedule. Actually start doing things again and making BeamtUp grow. More videos also means more non-tech videos, and you can find where those are right there. Jason and Chris and I have been working on ways to do gaming streaming, so BeamtUp Gaming will become a thing eventually, actually soon, or rather than later. I'm not sure what we're gonna play, but I do want to kind of like wade into that little area, because why not? Stay beaming. Ice Universe is who we're talking about, of course, for the leaker. But when they got him out of practice, is going to be called the S20. No, excuse me. Oh snap, I'm totally gonna make my 2 cents worth animation. There is glitter on my face. New Year's. Glitter face. There are, God. Also, more videos means more non-tech ones too, and that, in the way.